Hi and welcome to another gaming video. And today's video I want to ask the question, should I buy a Switch Lite? And now I'm not asking you whether I should buy a Switch or a Switch Lite. I'm pretty much set on buying a Switch Lite. I am a handheld fan, and the Switch Lite is just a little bit more pocketable, a bit more portable, bit more handheld than the original Switch. I know this original Switch is a hybrid console. You can take it off the TV and take it with you and play it on the go, but I am more of a portable console fan, and I just think I prefer the smaller size of the Switch Lite. I know there are some differences between both the Switch and the Switch Lite. So you've got a smaller screen on the Switch Lite, non-detachable Joy-Cons, there's no rumble feature. There are a few games you can't play on the Switch Lite because you can't play them in handheld mode, and you can't then plug the Switch Lite into a TV and play with others, and I don't do that. I've been a handheld fan for a very long time. Some of the reason I'm such a handheld fan is because you can take them with you, you can play them on the quiet, and I don't get much TV time at home, so having a console that plugs into the TV is completely pointless. Some of the reason I don't own anything from Sony or Microsoft, and I just like that whole it's for you kind of thing. It's my console. With a Switch, it's still a family console, and I could feel that others would try and get in on it. Sounds a little bit selfish, I know, but with a Switch Lite, it's mine. It's a portable console just for me, just like my other consoles are. And it doesn't mean I'm giving up on my DS and 3DS passion. I absolutely love my new 3DS XL. It plays DS games, it plays DSi games, 3DS games, new 3DS games, and it's running custom firmware, so it plays even more. It's an absolute powerhouse of a console. But I've just sat here for the last sort of few weeks, not here, but I've sat thinking about maybe I would want to play some more modern games. So there's some newer Mario titles that I might want to play, or perhaps even a bit of Fortnite, which you can do on the Switch. And I think the Switch is a bit more of a grown-up console. They tried to bring in some more adult titles, so you've got things like Doom and Doom Eternal. I'm a huge fan of first-person shooters, and it's something that's a little bit lacking on the DS and the 3DS. The DS had a few, but the poor controls on the DS just didn't make it suitable for first-person shooters. With the new 3DS XL, you've got the circle pad and the C stick, which makes playing first-person shooters a lot easier. But there wasn't that many of them. A lot of them relied on custom firmware, so they're ports of other titles that were brought across, and they do play fantastically. But I just sort of thought, well, maybe I want a bit more of a modern console. Perhaps I'd like to play some new games once in a while, something I haven't done for quite some time, and the Switch Lite is where I want to be. It's a cheaper console than the Switch. You can pick them up very cheap on the used market. My only concern with the Switch Lite is the Joy-Cons are built in, and both the Switch and the Switch Lite suffer from Joy-Con drift, something I've never had on a 3DS or a new 3DS XL. And it's not much of a problem with the full-size Switch, because if your Joy-Cons do break, you just buy some more and slide them on. But with the Switch Lite, it's an all-in-one console, and Joy-Con drift on a Switch Lite is probably my only concern. So that's just where my head is at. I'm looking at going down the Switch Lite route, and that may seem a little odd because I've always said in previous videos that I've not been a fan of the Switch. And the Switch Lite is the successor to the 3DS, and it's natural progression. You have to move along at some point. I've always been a bit off with the Switch because I think it killed off the 3DS and especially the new 3DS range a little bit prematurely, but that is the way that the gaming world goes, and things move on. Nintendo are already thinking about the Switch 2, or whatever they want to call it, and the Switch has been out quite some time now, so perhaps it's time for me to move along a little bit, and the Switch Lite is sort of where I would be if I was going to go down the Switch route. So let me know what you think. Should I go for a Switch Lite, or should I just stick with my current DS and new 3DS XL? Even if I buy a Switch Lite, I'll be keeping my new 3DS XL anyway, because it plays a huge collection of games, and it's something that's put me off from buying a Switch so far, is that it's not backward compatible. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.